food you crave. Sweet, fried, cheesy. Wow. Let me show you the chefs around the country serving up decadent dishes you don't have every day. But when you do, it's worth it. We're getting our slurp on with oodles of noodles.
Oh, totally get my noodle fix.
I mean, there's just layers and layers of noodles.
I'm talking thick, chewy, belly-filling noodles.
I want lasagna.
In Woodbridge, New Jersey, these authentic handmade pasta dishes have old-school Italians dreaming of their mamas.
You want lasagna that's homemade, like your grandmother from Italy? This is where you get it.
And in San Antonio, Texas, we got a dessert spot that's creating one-of-a-kind sweet treats that trick your eye and tantalize your taste buds.
This is messing with my head.
And in Boston, Massachusetts, they're rocking out Asian-American noodle mashups that are somehow both nostalgic and surprising.
I have literally never had noodles like this. I am obsessed.
These are some incredibly cheat-worthy dishes that will have you tortellini in love. See what I did there? First, we're in Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Well, you know, you can't talk noodles without handmade pasta. And this place is the best place in New Jersey to get them.
If you want a classic pasta, you've got to go to the Italians, and Chef Paul LaGruda at Mulberry Street Restaurant makes all his pasta the old school way.
We're really kind of into the slow food movement.
The new kids call it slow food, but Grandpa just called it food.
It's just like going to Italy here in Central Jersey.
Just look at his lasagna bolognese with 15 layers of pasta, tender meat, cheese, and a homemade ragu.
If you want lasagna that's homemade, you come to Mulberry Street.
But you gotta see his osso buco. He uses his perfectly cooked handmade fettuccine and tops it with a towering 36-ounce bone-in veal shank.
Phenomenal. You can't get it anyplace else but Mulberry's.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
How you doing?
Nice to see you. I hear you are the noodle king of Woodbridge.
Pasta king, maybe, yes.
So you're going to make the ossobuco, right?
We're gonna start with pasta. This is the way my mother taught me to make pasta when I was probably about 5-6 years old. Double O flour, semolina. I use both egg yolks and whole eggs.
The more egg whites you use, the more pliable the dough. The more egg yolks, the richer the flavor.
The best part is we don't have to sift the flour because it's double O.
000 is fine ground, so it mixes nicely.
You want this to be airtight so it proofs up. You don't want air getting to it because it'll get a skin. And in about 30 minutes, it could be ready to go. This dough has proofed up beautifully. Look at that shine. It forces the oil out, gets a little shine on it, looks really good. That's how you know that this is ready to go. You notice I don't go really fast. I'm an old-fashioned guy. We're into the slow food movement. Take our time and make the food the way it should be made.
I love low and slow cooking. I think it's the best way to cook food.
Look at that, that's what you want to see, right?
Beautiful. Next.
We're gonna make the sauce for the ossobuco. All right, we're gonna start with 90-10 oil, unsalted butter, garlic, carrots, celery, and onion. Chianti wine veggie stock, our imported plum tomatoes, oregano, black pepper, kosher salt, fresh basil. Ossobuco literally means inside the bone, right?
The marrow in top of the braised veal shank.
Oh, that's the home run, the marrow. And that long bone that we're gonna give you is filled with marrow. And what I like to do is I just kind of put them in.
Look at this.
And I have them find their place so we reach bottom.
Indulgence.
We want to try and have them stand up. You need a really high quality marinara sauce, and luckily, we have Mulberry Street's own marinara sauce.
Luckily, we're just in, Mulberry Street's restaurant. So luckily, we have it.
We want to have the meat totally covered. Now we're ready to cover and go in the oven.
4 or 5 hours at what temperature?
We're cooking it very low at 200 to 225 degrees.
It's time to plate up this bad boy.
That's like dive in and swim and drink at the same time.
This is going to cook in seconds. It's going to go right on top. Look at that. Grated cheese, a little more grated cheese. I would say just a touch more.
I'm agreeing with you.
Parsley, and there we go.
Look at this. I mean, if that's not indulgence, I don't know what is. See the marrow here?
There it is.
This is all a good fat. And that pasta, there it is. It's perfect. The pasta, fresh, beautiful, beyond perfect. And I'm a huge fan of slow braising. The sauce is like gold. This is my kind of food. This is my kind of food. It's the love, it's the care, it's classic, but over the top. And over the top, look at it, it's 36 ounces of meat. Love, love, love the flavors. Out of here.
Absolutely delicious.
That is amazing.
It's the best. Perfect al dente pasta. The meat is tender. The sauce is delicious. It's fantastic.
You made fresh noodles, but you make a 15-layer lasagna.
Right, with everything. Yeah, it's cheese, everything, 15 layers.
What are we waiting for? I want lasagna!
Check out this behemoth, a 15-layer lasagna bolognese.
I've never had a lasagna like this in my life.
Today we're cheating with pasta, and you can't talk pasta without talking to the Italians. So we're in Woodbridge, New Jersey at Mulberry Street with Italian chef, aka the Pasta King, Paul LaGruda. And Chef Paul is pumping out some of the best handmade pasta dishes around.
Authentic Italian right here.
But you gotta check out his massive lasagna bolognese that stands 15 layers high.
Meat, cheese, everything.
That's layer upon layer of tender meat, cheese, and homemade ragu. And 8 of those layers of pasta. I already love this dish.
Could be good.
The thing that's going to put this lasagna over the top is my bolognese sauce.
How do you prepare it?
You start out with oil and butter. Beef, pork, veal. I don't know where it came about in America where we throw chopped meat in red sauce and call it bolognese. You know, that's a sloppy Joe.
I think we're going to get a schooling in bolognese today.
So now we're about ready for our mirepoix. Carrots, celery, and onion.
Right?
Cherry wine, beef base. Plum tomatoes, dried oregano, basil leaves. The meat's getting a little brown. So we're going to cover it now, and we're going to put it in the oven that's preheated to 300 degrees and cook it for about 4 hours. Ah, there we go.
Look at this. Meaty, tender, juicy ragu. I think I need a moment here. Okay, now let's get to the lasagna.
Let's start out with some marinara. And now we're going to put a layer of these guys down. I ate this as a kid. It's the exact lasagna that my mother would make.
So this time you're using dried pasta, correct?
I don't drain the ricotta. And the dry pasta pulls the moisture out of the ricotta.
I actually like the dried pasta much better because the starch from the pasta holds everything nice and tight. It's a little more time consuming, but the end product is way better.
You don't trust me, do you?
You know what? I got this light blue shirt on. I want to keep it kind of light blue and not red and dotted.
And in the oven, 3 hours at 400 degrees.
Okay.
This quintessential lasagna bolognese and its 15 layers is about as Italian as it comes.
See that beautifulness melting in that broiler?
The cheese is going bubbly, bubbly, guggly on top of that lasagna.
That looks perfect. Covered with a little sauce. Do some cheese and parsley.
Make it rain. Look at this. The finished dish. That's enough lasagna for a week for me. Well, maybe a couple of days. All right. There it goes. I can honestly say I've never had a lasagna like this in my life. That is one huge lasagna and an awful lot of noodles. I mean, it's just layers and layers and layers of noodles. Remember, it was dried. It's not overcooked. It's just perfect. Lots of cheese. The ricotta is beautiful. Top notch.
This tastes like homemade.
This is like mom's. Can't say better than mom's because she'll strike me from the grave.
If you're looking for good Italian food, you're coming here.
You can't get it anyplace else.
15 layers of stuff that are amazing when they combine together. That's 2 dishes that are 10. Beautiful.
When my cheat day is all about noodles and pasta, I'm going for handmade fettuccine topped with 5-hour braised veal shank.
That is amazing.
A slow-cooked 15-layer lasagna bolognese.
You can't get it anyplace else.
The pasta abilities are endless.
Out of here.